They got 749 miles, but the trick isn't magic. I'll show you the exact nuts and bolts behind the number. Let's start with what Mercedes actually claimed. The German automaker announced their EQS sedan achieved 749 miles on a single charge during controlled testing. This wasn't just any Mercedes, it was their flagship EQS with the largest available battery pack. The test took place under carefully controlled conditions on a closed circuit in Germany. Professional drivers maintained steady speeds and followed specific protocols throughout the entire run. The results were officially verified and certified by independent testing organizations. But here's where the details matter. The test conditions were absolutely perfect. Ambient temperature was maintained at exactly 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind conditions were minimal with virtually no headwind resistance. Tire pressure was optimized to the exact manufacturer specifications for maximum efficiency. The vehicle carried minimal weight, just the driver and essential monitoring equipment. The route itself was carefully planned to minimize elevation changes and maximize efficiency. Average speeds were maintained at the most efficient range for the EQS powertrain. Now let's break down the factors that inflated this range number, starting with route optimization. The test route was engineered to avoid hills, traffic, and any conditions that reduce efficiency. Elevation changes were virtually eliminated, something impossible in real-world driving. Compare that to actual highways with hills, curves, and constantly changing conditions. Real driving includes traffic lights, congestion, and frequent acceleration cycles. Software optimization played a massive role in achieving this number. The EQS was running the most advanced energy management software Mercedes has developed. Regenerative braking was optimized for maximum energy recovery throughout the test. Climate control was set to minimal usage, no air conditioning, heating, or ventilation. Every non-essential system was either disabled or running at minimum power consumption. Weather conditions were absolutely perfect, something you can't control in daily driving. Battery efficiency drops significantly in cold weather or extreme heat. Winter driving can reduce range by 30 to 40% compared to ideal conditions. Running heat or air conditioning can consume 15 to 20% of your battery capacity. Real drivers face rain, snow, heat waves, and constantly changing conditions. The test vehicle carried minimal weight, but real cars carry passengers and luggage. Every additional 100 pounds can reduce range by 2 to 3%. Test speeds were optimized for efficiency, much slower than typical highway driving. Driving at 75 miles per hour instead of 55 can reduce range by 25%. The efficiency curve drops dramatically as speeds increase beyond the optimal range. Let's dive into the battery technology that made this range possible. Mercedes partnered with CATL, the Chinese battery giant, for these advanced cells. CATL supplied their latest generation lithium-ion cells with improved energy density. These are not solid-state batteries, they're advanced lithium-ion with silicon anodes. The EQS uses a 107.8 kilowatt-hour battery pack. Energy density has improved by approximately 15% compared to previous generation cells. Solid-state batteries are still in development and not yet commercially available in vehicles. Current lithium-ion technology is approaching its theoretical energy density limits. Charging speed and infrastructure remain significant limitations for long-range travel. Battery capacity degrades over time, reducing real-world range as the vehicle ages. Maintaining optimal battery temperature requires energy, further reducing available range. These advanced batteries significantly increase vehicle cost compared to standard configurations. Production capacity for these high-density cells remains limited globally. So what should actual buyers expect from this technology in real-world conditions? The EPA rates this EQS at 453 miles of range under standard testing. In city driving with traffic and climate control, expect around 350 miles. Highway driving at 75 miles per hour will likely deliver 300 miles or less. Winter conditions can drop that range to as low as 250 miles. A loaded family road trip might see ranges closer to 200 miles between charges. For daily commuting, most drivers will see 60 to 70% of the EPA rating. Most owners charge to 80% daily and rarely use the full battery capacity. Long trips require careful planning and multiple charging stops regardless of maximum range. Real drivers use heating, cooling, and other comfort features that consume significant energy. Aggressive driving, high speeds, and rapid acceleration dramatically reduce range. Hills, mountains, and varied terrain create efficiency challenges not present in testing. The maximum range EQS starts at over $100,000. Lower-priced versions offer significantly less range and different battery configurations. Competitors offer similar real-world range at lower price points with different trade-offs. Charging infrastructure remains the limiting factor for long-distance EV travel. Significant battery improvements are still 3 to 5 years away from mass production. Let's visualize the difference between headline numbers and real-world expectations. Mercedes achieved 749 miles under perfect test conditions. EPA testing shows 453 miles under standardized conditions. City driving with normal climate control usage, approximately 350 miles. Highway driving at typical speeds, around 300 miles maximum. Winter conditions with heating, as low as 250 miles. Fully loaded family trip, potentially 200 miles between charging stops. Long trips require charging every 2 to 3 hours regardless of maximum range. Daily driving uses 20 to 30% of battery capacity for most consumers. Temperature, speed, load, and driving style all significantly impact actual range. Battery technology continues improving, but slowly and incrementally. Focus on EPA ratings and real-world reviews rather than headline test numbers. Mercedes' 749-mile achievement represents impressive engineering progress. It demonstrates the potential of current lithium-ion technology under optimal conditions. But real-world driving involves compromises that significantly reduce these headline numbers. Smart buyers should focus on EPA ratings and real-world reviews from actual owners. Charging infrastructure and speed remain more important than maximum theoretical range. Range is improving, but don't swap your EV yet based on one test. Subscribe for more real-world EV analysis and practical buying advice.